Not very much, except for the fact that there's a clear violation of constitutional rights at play. To have a party claim to be the party of law and order as they are federalizing law enforcement in D.C. And at the same time, clearly violating the Constitution, whether we're talking about these maps that they're trying to implement, as well as simultaneously violating the Voting Rights Act, or if we're talking about taking the body of persons who refuse to be coerced into signing an agreement saying that someone can basically stalk them and watch their every move. This is something we have not seen in modern day democracies. In fact, this is not something that we see in democracies. And I really don't care your political affiliation. You should be concerned. Now, a lot of people look at Democrats and say, well, Democrats would never do that because they're the good guys. I get that. But this is a dangerous road to travel down. And I do applaud those in California that said, if you want to play with us, we will play back. And right now, Kevin Kiley in California, I'm sure he is so enlightened, maybe because his seat is on the chopping block. But the representative is begging the Speaker of the House to actually bring his bill to the floor to stop mid-decade redistricting, more so because he wants to save himself. He still has not said anything about Texas.
When you listen to Texas Democrats, they'll say this is a success, what we did, because it brings national attention to this issue. But when you look at the broader map of the entire U.S., I wonder if that attention is going to matter when Republicans clearly have the advantage when it comes to controlling states and having single party control. There's 15 states the Republicans have that to Democrats 4. Is that really enough that it brought national attention when that broad map could hand power to President Trump in the next Congress?
Well, here's the deal. He was going to seek power and seek to take it no matter what. We saw how he attempted to handle things the last time he lost an election. He called down to the governor. This is a guy who does not care about the rule of law whatsoever. So the fact that we're actually fighting back, I think that does matter. When you look at the approval ratings of the Democratic Party, part of that isn't because of our policies, it's because of a lack of fight. So at a very minimum, we are going to have to overperform. We have been overperforming ever since he's been in office. And that is one of the scariest things. They can draw this map whatever way they want to. I have a feeling that they're still not going to get 5 seats out of Texas. I know that is their plan. But the reality is that when you look at somebody like a Henry Cuellar won his seat while Donald Trump won that seat by 7 points. So I know that there are Democrats that know how to overperform even when they draw these maps these ways. They always thought that they were going to have Vicente Gonzalez's seat as well as Henry Cuellar's, and they have beat back the odds. I don't think that they won't necessarily beat back the odds this time. I can tell you that we are finally getting some investments into Texas because of how they are treating us, especially in a state that is a majority minority state, a state in which we have seen how he has handled immigrants. And so I think it is going to be interesting. I think the backlash is going to be even bigger because he decided to do this. And at the end of the day, you don't have to worry about California. You can stop this right now if you just say, hey, we will stop in Texas because California doesn't go into play unless Texas does. It is a trigger. But as it relates to Indiana, he's probably not going to get that one. The state law is probably not going to be very helpful for him in Indiana.
You commend California for responding.
I do.
And you call what Republicans are doing in Texas cheating.
Yeah.
And yet the appearance for some looking at California with the response may also be that California is cheating.
People can say what they want to say. But at the end of the day, we are fighting for democracy. This is not something that California wanted to do, as you heard from the state senators in California. This is something that they feel forced to do, something they feel obligated to do, because in a democracy, you have to answer for your policies or your lack thereof. That is what democracy looks like, where the power belongs to the people. They are trying to take the power away from the people so that he doesn't have to answer for his failed policies. If he believes that his big, ugly bill is just that beautiful, then go sell it and go win the legit way. But we know that they cheated to get the majority this time. If you will recall, when we look at North Carolina, as soon as they ended up with a Republican majority in that Supreme Court, what did they do? They decided to take their map from 7-7, which is pretty much what the state of North Carolina looks like, and instead they added an additional 3 seats for the Republicans. So now it's 10-4. Well, when you look at the voting, nothing looks like 10-4. And they only did that once the Republicans took control. Do you know the difference in the Democrats and Republicans controlling the House? It was 3 seats. So the Republicans, they are cheaters all day, every day. But we have never tried to match their energy until now. And I applaud it.